Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to another Daily Grind Fantasy stream. Just myself today. TJ is off packing away his house. I actually don't even need these because I'm not talking to anybody. So that's a little embarrassing to start off the stream like that. Either way, we're gonna get what value we can squeeze out of this slate and what is available to us via the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, middling tool, and such. Okay. Obviously, no NBA today. We do have some college basketball. There is some college football. Of course, NHL, which was the first taco of the day for PrizePicks. Cole Caulfield, as you see it here up on the screen, a 66.43% chance to hit the over of 2.5 shots on goal, originally set to 3.5 on PrizePicks and all these other sports books, as you guys can see, with juice on the over of 3.5. So, a really, really good play at 2.5 on PrizePicks. Evan, what up? How's it going? 51 of you guys in here, 7 likes. I would appreciate it if you're piling in. Just go ahead, hit the like button while you're at it because it really does help me out and I do appreciate it. Now, hi, Alex. Don't say anything about the Celtics. You've already roasted us on Twitter. All right? All right. Ooh. All right. Let's go ahead. We could start getting some plays out there. I've already used my taco. You guys, it's been up for a long time. If you guys haven't or played mine, Matt's, I don't know if TJ's tweeted any plays today necessarily, but if you haven't played these already, you can just replace something with the taco here. I'm going to build out a slip, not including the taco. Replace it with the taco if you haven't. Replace the worst play with the taco, of course. So, Elk under 16 headshots. Look, got it at 12.5 here on Underdog earlier. If you guys are in the Premium Picks Discord, I put in a slip where we got it at 12.5. Willing to take the under of 16.5 here for Elk in CS2 and middle this. So, give me that. So if it lands on 13, 14, 15, or 16, four headshot middle opportunity there, we have a chance to hit the middle, right? Where we have a profitable bet on both apps, PrizePicks and Underdog. You guys are going hard in chat now. Let me see this real quick before I get going. Got off work early, been sitting here refreshing over and over. Appreciate the stream. Let's go. Underdog special, Pulsic promo. Man, it's crazy. I've never seen so many people want UD lately, but I love it. Why are so many people toxic to Matt on Twitter? Who knows? Is there a trial for the correlation tool? No, there is not because it is tracked publicly right there. On the homepage, you don't even have to have a membership or anything to see it. So we don't have any free trials or anything like that available. Maybe we can look at the Fliff Optimizer. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Now, you guys bring up a good point. If you guys are cool with it, majority of people always want to see PrizePicks. If you guys are cool with it, let's go ahead and check out the Underdog promo here. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and get this in here. Peyton Sandfort under 14.5 points. I think that's where I'm going to go. All right, yeah. Let me refresh my Underdog. My computer's being very, very slow as well as my keyboard, so bear with me if it's a little trash. Oh, it's Pay. Peyton Sandfort under 14.5 points. And I'm taking the under on Christian Pulisic, I believe it's pronounced, because I seen somebody in our chat talk about it is the right play via Bet Rivers odds that have over and under set projections for these shots on goal. So that's why I'm doing that. I have no other knowledge of it of myself. I did not look up any odds. I just happened to see that in our Discord. So I'm trusting our users over there in Discord who are very sharp. I went ahead and put what I just played into the chat there. What I did was I just paired it with Peyton Sandfort under 14.5 points. Look, 15.5 points, heavily juiced on DraftKings, minus 215 to go under. At 14.5, looks to be maybe his even line on FanDuel. FanDuel's odds have been really weird to start the college basketball season, but multiple other books, 13.5, 13.5, and 12.5. So really kind of split odds here, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the under 14.5 for Peyton Sandfort on this slip. Uh, Clay Manley. That is only one-sided odds, I believe. So I'm not. Yeah, that I don't think that you have overs and unders. Therefore, you can't really take that into consideration. All right. Nonetheless, let's go. I'm gonna just come back to Prize Picks. We got that slip off, guys. Like I said, bear with me. There's not that much value. There's not that much value. It's what we got to do. I went with the under. Clay, if you feel better going with that over, I mean, do you? But at the same time, mathematically, what at least Bet Rivers had was the under of 1.5 shots for Pulisic. I believe it's how it's pronounced. Pulisic. My computer's going through it right now too. All right. Let's go ahead and build this slip out. So, like I mentioned, I want to go ahead and get Nelkin under 16.5. And then we can also get Consti under 14.5. Under 14.5. And then Trey Galloway under 3. Look, set to 2.5 on multiple sports books. I might have had the over of 2.5, and I'm still okay taking the under of 3. Look, if he lands on 3, I technically don't lose both bets. But there is different value getting it at 2.5 and getting it at 3, right? At 3, obviously you lose it at 4. It's just it's just different value in general. Now I'm not gonna play these guys because it's all on the same team, but Brent Burns under 3 shots. Would help if I went to NHL. Brent Burns under 3 shots. Once again, that was also favored on the over of 2.5 earlier, but at 3 is a totally different line, right? 2.5 and 3, way different. Bruce Brown, look, this fantasy score is off. I'm gonna go ahead and just get into this slip. Way we can go ahead and make sure we lock it in. Bruce Brown on the over of fantasy score. I'll share it in with chat. All right, I just shared it with chat, but look, let's look at the fantasy score. We hit this little button here, the hyperlink next to Bruce Brown. We can see what the sports books are showing that if they were to have a fantasy score market, what their projections would be, right? By taking the even lines for all the statistics that make up the player fantasy score here for NBA on PrizePicks and the multipliers, you know, that considers. Look, they're all set to 23.4-ish, let's say, off by about 1.3 average. In comparison to where PrizePicks has that set to 24. So it looks to be PrizePicks is a little bit too low. So let's take advantage of it and take the over. We have 3 data points saying it should be higher at 25.4. So let's go ahead, take the lower one here at PrizePicks on the over. Boom. That's a slip. And that's looks like about all we're going to be getting from PrizePicks. Remember what I said was Cole Caulfield, Taco. If you guys haven't used it, replace it with Bruce Brown as the least percent odds to hit. Obviously, it would be better to go ahead and do that. You want to play these plays with a higher percent chance to hit. Fun fact, Dustin guarantees every slip is a W. Definitely do not do that. I lose plenty of slips, guys. It's just how it works. When you're playing volume, and that's what we do here with these plus EV plays, and with the correlation tool as well. It's all about volume to combat that negative variance, but also bankroll management. If you guys didn't watch the few videos that Matt put out today on this YouTube channel, that weren't any pick videos or anything like that. They were actually some informative videos. A little bit better understanding on how to use the correlation tool, right? You guys should go check that out. Highly, highly suggest it. A little bit more information about how to manage your bankroll when plus EV betting and placing these slips. Highly suggest tuning into that too. If you have any questions about bankroll management or the correlation tool, both those videos should be able to go ahead and take care of those questions for you. Now, Consti over 12.5. I do want to get that in and middle it because I actually have not played that. So we took the under of 14.5 on PrizePicks. We're going to be playing the over of 12.5 here on Underdog. Why is that? We're not saying either book is more accurate than the other in setting projections, but what we are saying is if you have two data points, or let's say two DFS apps, in this instance, that set their lines independently, one's higher, one's lower, it's probably pretty safe to assume that the middle is the most accurate projection. So therefore, we could take the middle, and if it does land on 13 or 14 headshots, then boom, we have a profitable bet on both sites with opportunity to cash two separate slips. But if not, obviously you win one, you lose one. But the idea is that over you have that percentage chance, that it's going to go ahead and hit into the middle of those projections, right? It's not super high, but on a 12 to 14 headshot, it's decent, right? It's not super high, but it's decent, worth middling at least. And then we're gonna go ahead. I don't have this Nate Heiss over 3 rebounds for Northern Iowa, heavily juiced, minus 200 on DraftKings to go over 2.5. So obviously we're getting the worst number, but with it being so heavily juiced, you get some really good push potential there, nonetheless. And so favor that maybe he goes for 4. That's what we're rooting on here. Leo Carlson under 2 shots on goal. Now this is a very big push potential prop. Set the 2.5 on the books. Minus 235 to minus 195. In between there are these odds. So it's very heavily juiced on the under of 2.5. We get it at a worse number of 2. If I'm going to play these push props, I'm just going to play them together. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to play them together. So I'm going to be taking the over of 12.5 for headshots for Consti. And then Nate Heiss, over 3 rebounds. And then Leo Carlson under 2 shots on goal. Let's go ahead, lock that in. I'll send that in the chat as well. Boom. So we were able to get in that nice middle between PrizePicks and Hot Streak there. Now let's keep on chucking along. Basically all we got there on Underdog. Hang on, before we get there, let me check Fliff real quick. Nothing that I'm like super crazy about. Nothing even over 2% at the very moment. Earlier this morning, we've seen a lot of value in college basketball. So hopefully you guys were able to snag some of that. I put one into the Premium Picks Discord that people were tailing. So hopefully you guys were able to snag some of that. If you do have the optimizer, if you don't have the optimizer, number one, I don't know what you're doing. Linked in the description. You guys can check it out. You can also check out the correlation tool, which has been going bonkers. Saturday crushed, absolutely crushed college football, but that was really a get back because college football hasn't been treating us too nice correlation wise, but it felt really good to go ahead and get back on track with correlation in college football. This Saturday, and then NFL wasn't the best week in NFL, but other than that, really NFL's been pretty solid on the weekends. Obviously, you only get one game at a time, Monday and Thursday, so there's not a lot of volume there, so it seems like it's not doing great just off those 2 days, but over the weekends, it's been crushing. And then NBA hit like 5 different slips, 6 different slips last night across those games, so yeah, that absolutely crushed. As you guys can see, these little jolts here. NBA's doing really solid for what it is. And you guys also have to understand, and I mentioned this in my earlier video today, I did here on the channel for a correlation slip I gave out for the Seahawks Commanders game. But you guys got to understand, we understand, and hopefully you guys too, like, basketball isn't as correlated as football, right? Football, you have that constant being the quarterback position that you can go off of. If he's going to do good, then it's likely multiple people around him are going to do good, or opposite. If he's going to do bad and he's not going to go over pass yards or something like that, it's likely that receivers are going to go under receiving yards. Basketball doesn't necessarily have something like that. Closest you can kind of get assists to points. You know, obviously rebounds are a little fluky because the ball can bounce just about anywhere. But found the best possible correlation we can at the moment. Of course, we're always looking to improve everything and bring you guys the best correlated slips possible by scanning the market, finding these plus EV plays that we can get in these slips, and the most positively correlated plays, props, into the same slip. That is what we do here on the correlation tool. If you guys don't have access to it, linked in the description, you guys get access to that as well. My Fliff is broken. Uh-oh. What the Fliff is going on there? I can only do fantasy points. Sucks. Rolling. Where are you at? Are you in a different state? Are you what's going on with that? All right, now let's go ahead and move back to the optimizer. Like I said, there's nothing really on Fliff I loved. A couple plays here on PrizePicks. If you guys are still hunting for taco discrepancies, or not taco discrepancies, taco like slips. Cole Caulfield, Jaylen Brown, Tobias Harris. Cole Caulfield over 2.5 shots on goal. Jaylen Brown and Tobias Harris on the under of fantasy score. You got Jacob Hudson over 3.5 rebounds. Use this screen to your advantage. You guys have it up here. It's a paid tool you guys are kind of getting for free for about 30 minutes or so. So take advantage of that. Now let's go ahead and see if we have some stuff here on ParlayPlay. Not sure if we're going to have enough to build out a slip. Okay, so I would say yes and no. No, we don't. We don't even technically we don't, based off of just sorting it like this, but we really could. Like if we wanted to build out a slip with Sam Wiggless, Cam Atkinson, and Owen Tippett over 5.5 shots on goal, Brent Burns under 3. Obviously, you're skipping Cam Atkinson again because he's already in this combo square, and it's a better percent odds to hit. So why would you take the solo when you can get a better play of the combo square? Hurdle under 0.5 assist, heavily juiced across the sportsbooks. Average odds of -141. Skinner and Tage Thompson over 6 shots on goal. So like you could take those and then still come down here and you could take a Zion Williamson under PRA 36.5 and get that in and still be a plus EV play. Jordan Kyrou and Caspery, under 5.5. Duclair and Thomas Hurdle. Well, we're going to have Hurdle under assist, so that wouldn't work. There's a route to it, right? But it's not the most clean plus EV slip you've ever seen, right? It's not a bunch of 56 percenters, 55 percenters. You can get there just based off of, the average fair odds percentage you're looking for around that 54%. Keep getting error when it looks at your location. Oh, hopefully it fixes itself. It probably will. Fliff sometimes, bugs out a little bit, but hopefully it should. Underdog slips seem to be doing better than PrizePicks for correlated slips this last week. Maybe so. I feel like that's a fair assessment, I believe. You also got to think, little easier to hit Underdog slips as it's 5 bands as opposed to PrizePicks that's 6 bands for the correlation tool. So also take that into consideration. But obviously 5 bands, are straight up. It's uninsured. So if you miss one, you're not getting anything back. You got to think about it. PrizePicks, you're hitting some 2Xs, you're hitting some 0.4 backs. So it's a little different. But that's all taken into consideration, across the tool, the correlation tool itself. And what our profit margin is and our correlation score on the tool is itself. Let's see. Couple plays still up here on the correlation tool already, huh? I'll have to check out this Michigan Penn State one here after the stream. Maybe get that bad boy in there on Underdog. I hate punters on PrizePicks. The punters are back and forth, man. Sometimes they smack easy, sometimes they don't. Last night, done before halftime. And that's just the way it rolls, baby. It's just the way it rolls. We keep going. Show it. Show it. No, I might have to save that one. I might have to, yeah, no. I don't know. Hang on one second. Let me check this out. Let me see this first. Let me go here and do this. All right. What I'll do is I'll give you guys, if you guys didn't watch my YouTube video this morning, I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys this Washington Commanders Seattle Seahawks slip here that I did in a YouTube video earlier. All right. Only because there's no value. And this is probably going to be my last talking point. So you guys can go ahead and tail this if you guys would like. I've already got it in. I've put it into a slip already myself. Maybe some lines have shifted just a tad bit, but still, it is still a solid slip and being recommended here on the tool. So that's how you know it is a profitable slip over the long term. Fluffy says, been tailing your guys' slips the past few weeks. Bad variance for tailing slips. If you're talking about the correlation tool specifically, I wouldn't even say it's bad variance necessarily. You're just getting a handful of slips throughout a week, right? Our tool gives out many more than just what we're giving via the correlation tool. So I wouldn't necessarily call it bad variance just because your sample size is so small if you're just playing the free ones we're giving out, as opposed to if you have the tool itself and are able to play all of the games and slips across these apps, then that would be where bad variance comes in. We were on some bad variance as a whole, the tool as a whole, for college football. And now we kind of wiped out that bad variance after having an insane Saturday this past weekend. So if that's what you're talking about, then I wouldn't necessarily say bad variance, but hopefully you get what I'm saying. I'm still up over 100 units for the month using correlation optimizer. I've been having the worst luck on esports, though. Yeah, esports, man, you want to try and find as much correlation as you can in esports to help build your slips and give yourself the best chance of winning. But Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and give this slip out, and then I'm probably gonna to get off because it's just there's just nothing, guys. It's kind of depleting, staring at the optimizer and nothing to bet on. So here it is. This is going to be the Commanders Seahawks PrizePicks correlation slip. That is currently the best slip available given the props we have at this time, right? This slip could change over time. We could see a better Seahawks slip, better Seahawks Commander slip pop up. But currently, as it stands, these are the best ones. If you go put this in on the same game parlay on FanDuel, you're not going to get the 25x return or that you're going to be getting here on PrizePicks. That's what the edge is. That's why it's a big edge, is because you're not getting docked for having positive correlation like you would be in a same game parlay on FanDuel, etc. Right? Geno Smith over 244.5 pass yards. If Geno Smith's going over pass yards, right, that'd be our X. If X is going to happen, Y and Z are likely to happen as well. Our Y and Z in this case would be DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, his two top receiving threats, right? So we'd be taking the over on Geno Smith. So if he goes over pass yards, it's likely that DK Metcalf and and Tyler Lockett go over receiving yards. I'm not saying that's going to happen. In that's not what we are doing here, right? We're saying if Geno Smith is to go over pass yards, these are likely to happen behind it, right? We're just giving correlation here. And then same thing on the opposite side. Sam Howell over pass yards with his two top targets, McLaurin and Dotson, to go over receiving yards, right? So obviously we're looking for a shootout here. We're looking for points scored. We're looking for the offense to be moving the ball. That way our receivers are catching enough passes to go over receiving yards. Simply it, right? And at volume, playing these slips is where it's going to weed out that variance, right? When you're playing at volume and playing these slips across these apps, that's where your ROI is going to see profit, and where you are long term going to be a profitable user using the correlation tool. Fluffy, don't bring up Zion. Don't bring up Zion to me. If you guys didn't see on my morning stream yesterday, we had a ParlayPlay slip I cooked up for us, and it was one leg. It went 5 of 6. The last leg, last game of the NBA night, Zion over 30.5 points and rebounds, and he ended with 30. That ripped my heart out. I was upset at it because not only that, but he just recently cooked me on points and rebounds as my last leg on ParlayPlay as well. I had 30.5. He got 27 that time, so he hooked me even harder this time, which sucked. But if you watch the ending of that game, obviously, call it excuses. I don't know what you want from me. But if you watch the ending of that game, he was so gassed. There was a rebound that bounced right by him. He went like this and didn't even try to grab it because he was so gassed. And then he gets the ball. Last possession for the Pelicans. Last possession, he goes to back up whoever was guarding him and just kind of lost it as he would try to turn around and go to the hoop. He just didn't have any more gas. So that pissed me off. I was so mad. Does correlation tool individual props on the optimizer? Yes, it does. Now you're not going to see every single prop as this huge plus EV play or anything like that, but it does. It's going to take into consideration. It scans the market across the sportsbooks and stuff as well. It scans the market for plus EV plays as well as what's correlated, right? So it's going to try and give you the plays with the best plus EV, and then on top of that, what's correlated. So that's where you will see those better slips pop up here towards the top between profit margin and correlation score, because over time, if you keep playing that slip, that should be your profit margin, right? So yeah, it takes it all into consideration. My last thing, if you guys do want to check out the correlation tool, try it yourself. Linked in the description. You guys can go ahead, sign up for the correlation tool, sign up for the fantasy bundle, which is the optimizer and the middling tool yourself. Guys, we don't give enough free plays to do enough justice for our tool. We try to give out as much free stuff as we can. Our users know If you're placing these plus EV plays and playing at volume, you're looking good. You're going to be a long-term profitable bettor, even with some negative variance mixed in, because there will be ups and downs. There will be our college football stretch that was sucking for a while, and then boom, right back up, baby. So that's it, guys. I am gonna go a little bit of a short stream today, just because we're lacking value, right? Go spend some time with family, friends, whatever you want to do. But I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I should be live for my normal morning live stream. We got some NBA back. That'll be fun. And best of luck on your bets.